Hey everyone, this is Jason Creel and you're watching Lawn Care Life. Today I'm going to share with you a real life story that happened in my lawn care business that involves dogs. If you've been in lawn business, you know that dogs are part of the job. You have to deal with them. I'm going to tell you about the story that I dealt with today involving dogs and how I did some things right and some things I could have done better. Stay tuned. Let me start by saying I do like dogs, okay? I'm not a current dog owner, but I would like to be someday. I'll say this way though, I like dogs that like me, and the dogs that don't like me, I don't like them either. And so that's kind of a mutual respect that I want to have for the dog. But today I had a situation where I go to a customer's house and I go into the backyard and I knew he had dogs, but I've tried, this is a customer that I notify before I come, okay? I have some customers, they want me to let them know when I'm coming, so I let him know today through a series of text messages. Hey, I actually asked him, I said, hey, would today be okay if I come to do the lawn? He texts back, yes. So we confirmed that today is the day. So I show up to do the lawn. I didn't know how many dogs he had, but I knew he had dogs. I hadn't been doing his lawn that long. And so I get there and there are 3 dogs in the backyard. It turns out there was actually a 4th one that showed up later. And y'all know how it is when you're doing lawn care with dogs. I mean, some of them are fine. They're laid back. They just go lay over on the patio or the deck or something. They don't bother you. They just want to be petted and then they leave you on. Some of them are more aggressive, and those are the ones you just stay away from, and honestly the homeowner just needs to have those put up for you to do anything. And then there's the ones like these were those hyperactive kind. They're just so excited to see a person and they're just jumping around like crazy, and not my personal choice of what I want to deal with today. So I see the dogs are in the back, so what I do, I go and I ring the doorbell. Okay, I said I need to talk to him about the dogs. And nobody comes out, so I start doing the front yard. I said, well, let me just go ahead and do the front yard. Maybe they'll hear my machine out here if they're home. And again, I thought they probably were with the cars in the driveway. And the machine, it makes plenty of noise that somebody should probably hear if it's in their yard. So I do the front yard, nobody comes. So I've rung the doorbell, and so I'm thinking, well, he knows I'm coming today, so I guess they left the dogs out on purpose. So in this particular situation is a chain link fence. They've got the latch shut and there's a little rope over the handle of the latch. Now what I'm thinking is that rope is there for a reason. You know how dogs, sometimes they get excited. They start jumping up and down. I'm thinking one of them could accidentally hit the latch with their foot and kick the gate open and get out. So that's what the rope's there for. Well, I can't get anybody at the door, and so I'm thinking, how am I gonna, you know, these are these happy, excited dogs. They're just 3 of them. They're jumping around like crazy right there at the gate while I'm trying to get in. So I'm thinking, well, sometimes if I kind of turn my machine on and go toward the gate, they'll back off, and not trying to hurt the dogs, they just try to, you know, make them move away from the gate. And that's what happened. So I turned the machine on, go to the gate, and they actually started biting each other and sort of play fighting. One of the little ones started jumping on the big one, biting his neck and all this other stuff, and then they started chasing each other all over the yard. I thought, well, this is actually working out perfect because now I can get in no problem. So I open the gate, get my machine in, close the gate, but I didn't put the rope back over the latch because I'm thinking, you know, like I said, dogs get excited, they jump up, their foot hits the latch and they get out. But I'm thinking, I'm not gonna be in this backyard long, this isn't gonna take long, no problem. Well, this is where the story changed and where I realized my mistake. So I'm out there riding on my machine in the backyard, and I see the one dog is a type of bird dog. You know, I'm not exactly sure of the breed, but had an orange collar and very hyper, you know, a lot of energy. I know bird dogs might be some of the smarter breeds of dogs, but this particular dog, when he saw that I didn't put the rope on, okay, he's playing around a little bit, you know, chasing each other. When he goes over there, he sees I didn't put the rope back on, he immediately jumps up with his nose, and this was intentional, this was not accidental, and he jumped up with his nose, pushed the latch open, chain link fence door goes open, and there goes the bird dog and the little dog. The medium-sized one was off doing something, so I was able to close the gate before he got out. I think, oh no, these look like the kind of dogs with the amount of energy they were showing, and they probably don't get out of their fence very often. I'm thinking, I'm not sure they're ever coming back, because they took off like a greyhound chasing a rabbit, and I'm thinking this is not good, they're gone. Well, for me, I'm thinking, well, let me just take time to finish the backyard. So that's what I did, finish the backyard. Well, at that point, here comes the homeowners, and it was a mom, a dad, a son, and a daughter, 4 people home. And they all, you know, so they come out at different stages, and I say, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I said, the dog got out. I didn't realize he knew how to open the gate himself. But he did, and they ran off. So they had leashes. This is something that I guess has happened before. And so they go over there, and in my mind, I'm thinking, I hope they catch it, but I don't know if they will. These dogs took off running, but they didn't go far. You hear them barking over there. And I might be thinking, should I go try to help them catch the dogs? But if you've been in that situation, it's not the first time I let somebody's dog out, though the first time in a while it's happened. One of the more frustrating things and hopeless things is trying to chase somebody else's dog in a situation like this. I mean, you can usually tell if the dog's going to come to you or not. And these dogs, I'm thinking, there is no way I'm chasing these dogs down. They might come back to the homeowner. There's no way they're coming back to me. So I just finished doing the yard. Let me finish the story about the dog, and then we'll tell you what I learned from this situation. All right. So thankfully, the son and the mom come back with the dogs. Didn't take no time, and they were able to catch both of them, had them on the leash. And thankfully, while they had them on the leash, I was able to finish up the backyard and get my machine out of the gate, and at least for today, didn't have to deal with those dogs anymore. The dad comes over. He has a little bit of a disgruntled look on his face about, you know, I know obviously he's frustrated. I let the dogs out. They explained to me that's what that rope's for. You know, that's why you got to put the rope on there. I'm saying, yeah, I apologize. I understand that now. I said, and I was just in my mind again thinking that I didn't know the dog actually would go up there and purposely open the gate. I thought the rope was there to accidentally keep him from accidentally opening it, and I was going to put the rope back on when I finished. But look, you don't want to explain all that to the customer. I just apologize. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have done that. Now, what can be taken from this situation? Well, there's a few things actually. First off, you got to understand people's view of dogs, okay? And I'll go ahead and kind of state my view on dogs. I like dogs. I'm not a dog owner, but I'm not in that camp that like loves dogs, as in they sleep in the bed with me. I buy them Christmas gifts and all. You know, that's not me. I make a clear distinction between people and dogs, and dogs are way down on the list as compared to people. Okay, I understand that that's maybe a minority nowadays. People love their dogs. In some cases, I think maybe a little bit too much. And so I've got to kind of be aware of that in my mind, because I've dealt with that. I've had customers in the past, I'm thinking one in particular, that I knew that if I fell off a ladder at her house while trying to trim some hedges and broke my arm, that, you know, she'd be like, oh, long guy broke his arm. But if I happened to have landed on her dog while that happened, while I fell off the ladder, then that would be a huge tragedy. I mean, she made it clear to me, at least I got the impression, that I was far less important than her dog. You know, one of these 6-pound dogs that needs haircuts and all that. Well, I don't know if this customer from today's situation where the dog got it, I don't know if they're like that or not. I mean, like I said, their dogs are outside running around, dirty dogs like I think most dogs should be. So I'm not saying they're like that, but in the back of my mind, I do know that some people really, really, really extra love their dogs. And I think everybody should love their dog. Nobody should abuse their dog or anything like that. I'm just saying, you know what I'm talking about. You got people that go like next level with their dog. And I didn't know if that was these people or not. But they had 4 of them, so obviously they do like dogs. I say 4, there was 3 originally, and then a 4th one came out later that looked old, and I don't think he was gonna run away. So what I do right? Well, what I did right in the situation was I did notify the customer before I was coming to let him know that, hey, today, actually asked him, is today okay for me to do your lawn? He agreed. I said, okay, I'll be there, you know, soon to do your lawn. When I got there, I did ring the doorbell. I think that was the right thing to do. Ring the doorbell, let them know I'm here to do the lawn. There's dogs in the back. You know, what do you want to do? Do you have a way to put them up? Can you put them on a leash? Can you do something? Unfortunately, nobody answered the door. What did I do wrong? Well, I think this is where I did make a mistake. I did not put the rope back on the latch while I was in the backyard. I thought maybe this 5 minutes I'm back here, it won't be no big deal. Surely they won't get out, but I was wrong. I know now that, you know, I got lazy and I put the latch on the gate, but I didn't put the rope on there, and that was lazy on my part, and that was my mistake. The other thing I think I did right was not being overly defensive with the customer. When you make a mistake like that, whether it's a big mistake, small mistake, whatever, you just own up to it and apologize and you move on. If I start going on and on about, well, you need to have your dogs put up and that sort of thing, you're not going to help the situation. So don't try to get too defensive. Though I did ask the customer one simple question, and maybe this was me being a little bit defensive. I don't know if it was the right thing or not, but I did simply ask him, does your doorbell work? Because I generally want to know, because I rang his doorbell. There's 4 people home, 2 cars in their driveway, and nobody came to the door to help with the dogs. And even if I do put the latch on there next time, I mean, it was a little bit of a trick getting into the backyard with these 3 hyperactive dogs. And fortunately, they all started chasing each other and biting each other's neck, and that's the way I was able to get in the backyard. So what can I walk away with? Well, I think sometimes when I think I've done good communication, I might need to communicate a little bit better. So next time, instead of just sending a text saying, hey, can I come today? I might need to say, hey, can I come today? And will somebody be there that will be able to put the dogs up while I'm working on the backyard? I should have taken it that next step further. So there's always room to grow in my communication, and there's also room for the customer. I'm hoping by me simply asking about the doorbell that they'll also think on their end, thinking, you know what? We didn't put our lawn guy in the best situation today. When he rang the doorbell and we knew he was out in the front yard, we probably should have stopped what we were doing and come out and see what he needed help with, in particular the dogs. We know our dogs get out a lot and they're hyperactive, and it can be a challenge for one person to deal with our hyperactive dogs. And so next time, if we can go out there and address the dog situation, that'd be a big help to him. Now, I didn't tell him that. I simply asked the question, does your doorbell work? But I'm hoping that they can come to that conclusion that maybe next time we want to provide more help for our lawn guy. Now, if it was a different situation, they have some kind of hidden electric fence and I get shocked a few times, then I'm gonna be a little more direct on my asking for help. I'm gonna say, you need to do something about your electric fence, so this is the last time, you know. But when it was mostly my fault that I didn't put the latch on there or the rope on there, then again, I'm not gonna go overboard in defending myself. Because like I said, a lot of it was my fault. Maybe, yeah, they could have done a little bit better job helping me out. But when you start getting in an argument, usually bad things happen. So let me hear from you guys. Tell me your dog stories. I know dogs are part of the situation in the lawn care business. You want to be respectful of people's dogs, understand how much people care about their dogs, and use wisdom on how to deal with the dog situation. Like I said, you mess up, you take responsibility, you don't weigh on it, and you just move on, okay? If they want to weigh on it, that's on them, but I can't sit around thinking about that time I let that dog out and just have a guilt trip over that. Messed up, next time leave the rope on. Let me hear from you guys. What's your dog stories? I wanted to also share with you in the description of this video, there's some links. If you need some like last minute Christmas ideas, things to buy, you can check out some of those links, including the Cujo yardwear shoes. I'm wearing mine right now. I actually love those shoes and been very comfortable, so you might pick up a pair of those. But that's just one of the products that I could recommend to you in the description below. If there was a song to play in the background on today's video, I guess it would be Who Let the Dogs Out, a song that has not near enough words and repeats itself way too much. But in this sense, if you asked who let the dogs out, it was me. Talk to you guys later. Bye.